Ended up with. This is obviously what I started earlier. So I put it on, I smoothed it off, I've lightly brushed it and let it dry for a bit, and then I've smoothed it off again, and tomorrow then I'll brush it again. Just for any loose bits on the side, they'll come off, but the actual cement will stay smooth. I don't want brush marks, because brush marks are going to attract algae. And algae at the end of the day is always a bit of a shit. But yeah, I think I worked it out anyway. It would have been about 700-800 quid worth of brushing, or it's going to be 30 quid sand cement. But obviously the brushing is shitloads faster, and this is shitloads slower. So you have to see the pros and the cons. But yeah, I haven't jointed up a patio with sand and cement for frigging donkey's years, 20 years or something like that. Ever since this other stuff come out, I started using that. But actually, no balls to it. This one, we're just going to do sand cement. Mostly because the joints are shit anyway. They're all huge. Look at the size of them in the middle, especially down by the bins. But yeah, we'll give it a whirl, shall we? We'll try. It was good enough in the olden days, so should be good enough for now. All right, let's talk your bollocks. Let's get on with it. Yada, 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 blah, blah, bloody, blah. So after it's had a little bit of time to dry, I'll rough it up a bit, see if I can get it a bit lower. All right, let's give it a quick brush. I hope this actually works. Otherwise, it's another shit video. Right. Am I happy with the finish of that? No, I don't like that bit. But I do like it coming out a bit though. I do like that. That's a bit like jointing an old stone wall. Is it any better? I think so, actually. It's a compromise. Sand cement up against the other stuff is a compromise. But this is loads cheaper. I could have piped it in with one of those cake things, icing cake things. But I think that would have took even longer, and then it would have been more beneficial to have used brushing grout or a flow point or something. I'm alright with it. We'll come back to this bit tomorrow and have another look at it. You say what you're going to do, and you contradict yourself by not doing what you said you were going to do. Ooh, how's that? You can see that brain cell of mine then working overtime then, can you? Duh. Right, bollocks, I brushed it up. I roughed it up. See, I roughed it. So that's got a little bit more off the edges. So now I'll smooth it down again. See if I can get rid of the brush marks. I just don't want brush marks for some reason. I'll say that, same reason as you don't want brush marks on brickwork, do you? Maybe I shouldn't have put a bag of stone dust in it and just done it sharp sand. I wonder how different that would have looked. But the idea with the stone dust was just because some of the joints were like 20mm by 20mm deep. It was just to make it a bit like concrete, you know, like a mini concrete. But I wonder how it would have gone if I did just use sharp sand. Because it wouldn't be protrude as much above. Not that it's protruding much above anyway, only a little bit. So I just come this morning and yeah, these are all too wet. And it looks like it poured it down last night and it wasn't supposed to. So I'm bloody glad I covered up. Right, back again. I'm going to skip past this bit because it's really flipping messy. It's where a lot of the water came in when it was at its wettest. But this is a better area. So I'm trying to replicate these joints here. That would be nice. That's what I want. That's what I ideally want. But over there, yeah, it's proper messy, because when it lashes down the rain just gets under the plastic half the time. It's made a right mess. So I'm going to have to acid clean it now. Right, just get on my Pyrenees. Let's start there. Right, so I'm not using that thing anymore. Do my head in. Because this lot is smudged so much already yesterday from the rain and whatnot. If I smudge again here, then it's just a little bit more to clean. So, and this is a lot easier to put in, and I can get it lower down to the top. So as you can see, we're going for a different method. We're just going to put it straight in. I know it's going to smudge a little bit, but after the rain the other day over there, that smudged anyway. So, balls to it. It's just going to be another process I've got to do. If you want to do it this way, which is cheaper on material, then there is other processes. Another one's going to be cleaning it. So that'll be our finish for now, and then we'll brush it off, and then we'll give it one more going over to finish. So that's day 2. Hasn't been, it's things like 3 o'clock, it's just gone 3, so it's just short of a whole day, and the other day just short of a whole day, but pretty much 2 days to do it, sand and cement. How long would it have taken with something else? A day, if not less. So, but we'll work out at the end which is cheaper, because you've got man hours and price of materials. Because they are really messy down the end the other day with the rain. I got acid clean that, so that's more man hours, more time, more cost. But hey ho, we'll figure the rest out when I come back. Blah, 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 blah. So the conclusion is, after checking on the website this morning, the area, the width of the joints and everything, you're looking around about 1188 quid for that product I'll put on screen to do this. There were some joints we didn't take out, so say £1,000 it would have cost just for the material to do that. I did it with sand cement, 3 sharp, 1 dust, 1 cement, total 850. So if we were to have done it with the other stuff, it might have been around about, with the cleaning of the drive, might be around about 1,500 quid. So it's about half the price to do it in sand and cement than it is to use any of these fancy other products. Hope this helps. I'm done, thanks, goodbye.